Meanwhile, the Smiths are speaking out. Jada posted a short message on Instagram. This is a season for healing, and I'm here for it. And last night, Will Smith finally apologized to Chris Rock. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line, and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. But is it enough? Howard Bragman is a veteran Hollywood crisis manager.
Who is obviously about 20 hours too late. It didn't feel like Will Smith. It felt like a publicist and had written it in a lawyer.
Bravo has been keeping everything airtight. I don't know what's going to go down on our HOA.
Marlo is going to keep the girls alive. She by Sheree finally launched. It's not
Grant and Katie Britt. Just goes back to the calculation of he wants to be supporting people he thinks will win.
Do you think this will hurt your campaign?
Well, that's to be seen. I will add that we've had a bump in campaign contributions today.
Glad you can join us here on the tape on this Thursday, March 28th, 2022. Thank you all for watching the tape. We got a lot to get to, but first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag tape here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the tape. Let's get to the big story. The big story is many of you have heard the slap across the world. Yeah. Will Smith went up and slapped Chris Rock in his face. Yes. Say it ain't true. We didn't even see this coming. This all started when Chris Rock was trying to be a presenter at the Oscars. And he was trying to tell a somewhat lighthearted joke. But Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, his wife, were in attendance, standing right across from Chris Rock. And at first, Will laughed, but then Will went up to Chris Rock and slapped her for saying the reference about Jada's hair, her hair loss, her mental condition, her suffering hair condition, alopecia, and saying it should be great in G.I. Jane. But a lot of people Will and Jada didn't take to offense to it. And now everyone's talking about it. People been talking about it ever since it happened. And this ain't died down since. Let's get the backstory.
We're there for something we have never seen before, something that is very hard to process. Will Smith walking up onto that stage after Chris Rock told a joke about his wife, simply assaulting Chris Rock. You see it right there. He hit him, cold cocked him after that joke. Chris Rock composed himself, got it back together, gave out the award, but the Academy put out in a statement overnight saying they don't condone violence, but have not taken any other action yet.
And Chris Rock did not file charges. LA police are aware, but no charges. But it really, it changed the entire night. It was a wonderful night, a first and all that, but he was soon back on that stage accepting the Oscar for Best Actor. TJ is going to start us off with all of that. Good morning, TJ.
Robin, this was awful. It was ugly. It was embarrassing. It was confusing. But on that stage last night, like Georgia said, we saw something we'd never seen before. And this was a night where we saw history repeated. We had a feel-good night. Ariana DeBose, a night where we saw the first deaf man pick up an acting Oscar. On the night where we saw Coda win. And on a night where this entire production, the entire Oscar show, was done for the first time by an all-black producing team. But here we are, leading off the show. And the story of the morning is about one man assaulting another on the Oscar stage. Hollywood's biggest night. And this was not an accident. Wow! Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars. The tense moment happened just seconds after Rock made this joke about Smith's wife, Jada's shaved head.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
You can see Jada roll her eyes, and then Smith seems to laugh it off, but then gets up on stage.
Oh, wow! Wow! Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
But this is what you didn't hear at home, but aired on some international feeds.
Nick Mike's name out your mouth. Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
A seemingly rattled Rock goes on to introduce nominees for Best Documentary Feature. Sean P. Diddy Combs and host Amy Schumer tried to cut the tension in the room.
Okay, Will and Chris, we're gonna solve that like family at the goal party. Okay? But right now we're moving on with love.
Did I miss anything? There's like a different vibe in here.
About 45 minutes after slapping Rock, a tearful Smith took to the stage to accept the award for Best Actor in King Richard amid a standing ovation.
Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. I'm being called on in my life to love people and to protect people and to be a river to my people. I want to be a vessel for love.
Smith apologized, but not to the comedian.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. Love will make you do crazy things.
Overnight, the LAPD tells ABC News Rock declined to file a police report. The Academy issued a statement saying it does not condone violence of any form. Jada has been candid about her struggle with hair loss due to a condition called alopecia, ultimately deciding to shave her head.
This is gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to hide.
But this isn't the first time she's been the butt of Rock's jokes. In 2016, Rock took aim at her decision to boycott the award show amid the Oscars So White controversy in his opening monologue.
Jada's mad her man, Will, was not nominated for concussion. I get it. It's not fair that Will was this good and didn't get nominated. Yeah, you're right. It's also not fair that Will was paid $20 million for Wild Wild West.
The couple ignored questions from the press as they walked the blue carpet at the Vanity Fair after party. Smith smiling with his family, then partying and dancing with his gold statue.
Will Smith, well, what can you say? People were stunned, shocked, and disbelief that Will Smith, out of all these years, wanted to show his you know what in front of the public, if you will. Many people believe Will Smith was defending his honor, which rightfully he should be doing, but many people thought he was out of line when he slapped Chris Rock over that joke. Well, Chris Rock didn't press no charges, and the LAPD are aware, but Chris Rock decided not to press charges. And the history between them three, it goes way back to the 1990s. That's almost 30 years, and now it comes full circle. And they get a shocking moment like that. Many people would thought the Oscars would have been low on ratings, but this was the moment that everyone's been talking about, raging about, and it's still talked about to this day. Well, we move on to celebrity news. This is the Will Smith, a continuation of Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. Well, we know many people was wondering who was right and who was wrong. Yes. Many say Will Smith was in the wrong and agree with Chris Rock was just doing his job as a comedian. We get Chris Rock as a comedian. Will Smith is somewhat a comedian, actor, musician. He knows how to do it all. He's a tool player. But this Smith, they said, have an excuse to do what he did. And what are the consequences for his actions? Will it be consequences for him getting his Oscar taken away from him that he just won, and he's been lobbying for that Oscar for 20 some odd years? Let's look back and what the consequences could be.
Possible punishment could include suspending Smith's Academy membership. They could also ban him from next year's ceremony, whereas this year's Best Actor winner, he'd be expected to hand out the award for Best Actress. But will they take his Oscar away?
highly, highly unlikely to happen. Harvey Weinstein still has his Oscar. He's convicted in jail right now.
We're learning more about what went down during what some are calling the worst fiasco in Oscar history.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth!
Photos show Chris Rock walking to the edge of the stage to speak to the Smiths, who are seen holding hands. That's Denzel Washington trying to mediate, standing between the two men. Behind the scenes, according to one report, there were serious discussions about removing Smith from the theater. Former Oscar host Whoopi Goldberg offered this insight.
The reason they didn't go and take him out is because that would have been another 15, 20-minute explanation of why we're taking the black man out 5 seconds before they're about to decide whether he's won an Oscar or not.
Will Smith!
The Hollywood A-listers who gave Will Smith a standing ovation after he won Best Actor are also under fire today.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse.
Meanwhile, the Smiths are speaking out. Jada posted a short message on Instagram. This is a season for healing, and I'm here for it. And last night, Will Smith finally apologized to Chris Rock. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line, and I was wrong. I'm embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. But is it enough? Howard Bragman is a veteran Hollywood crisis manager.
Who was obviously about 20 hours too late. It did.
Right now, we don't know. As we're speaking at the moment, hopefully Will Smith won't lose his Oscar. A lot of people were saying that Will Smith need to lose his Oscar. Will Smith has been lobbying for an Oscar for years, ever since he done Muhammad Ali, and for a concussion. So Will Smith has been trying to get an Oscar for quite some time. Chris Rock has hosted Oscars, and he's been making fun of Jada Pinkett Smith. That time when Jada Pinkett wanted to boycott the Oscars and saying Will deserve an Oscar, and now it comes full circle as it did. Whew. All right, move on to talk shows. Talk shows. There's another continuation of Will and Jada. We know people from daytime TV and late night had a field day, what they thought, put their weight around on what they thought about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Of course, the late night comics are weighing in, and no surprise, they're on Team Chris.
That is the worst thing Will Smith has ever done. Wait, I forgot about Wild Wild West.
The whole room full of people, no one lifted a finger. Spider-Man was there. Aquaman was there. Catwoman, all sitting on their hands. No one helped Chris Rock. Wow.
All right, you saw from the people from daytime and late night giving their opinion on who was right, who was wrong. We know Whoopi Goldberg said that this shall pass. Will Smith will go move on forward. This doesn't affect him as it should, and it shouldn't affect Will Smith. Will Smith, you know, he's done a lot, but at the same token, you know, was it wrong for him to come up there and slap Chris Rock? Yes. Was that Chris Rock wrong for just making a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith? In a way, yes, because he done a documentary about women's hair, and he should have known better on what they had to say and what not to say. And they said Chris Rock is saying what the white community believe about black people, which is beyond belief, but it does happen that way, and sometimes in some instances. So, like I said with that, but we'll have more about the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation throughout the show. So look for that. But we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break from that. We'll be back with more Take. Don't go nowhere. This is the Take on Connect TV. Here. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Take. I'm your host as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Take on this Thursday, March 28, 2022. Yes, March 28, 2022. We're almost in April. But first and foremost, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Take. All right, we're not going to talk about Will Smith and Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith. We're going to take a break from that for a moment. Let's get to the political rundown. Political rundown this week. Well, we know that Alabama has been the center of politics for a long time, with them not trying to get a lottery together and them trying to say it's corruption and bringing the lottery in. Well, this time we know that it is a highly contested U.S. Senate seat is on the line at stake, as Richard Shelby, long-term senator, decided that he will not seek another term in office. So it leaves an open field for anybody in the Republican side, as Richard Shelby's assistant, Katie Britt, decides that she wants to run for the seat, as well as she has uphill battle as Mike Durant and Mo Brooks. Mo Brooks was the heavy favorite to win, but Mo Brooks lost his key support from one man. Yes, Donald Trump. Yes, Donald Trump withdrew his support from Mo Brooks, and Mo Brooks didn't like the tone, the language that Donald Trump was trying to send to his voters, and he was trying to align it, but it just didn't pan out. Well, let's look back at how Trump said no to Brooks.
Several months ago, former President Donald Trump promised Alabama Congressman Mo Brooks he'd support his bid for U.S. Senate.
I'm baffled in many respects. He had given me his word, and apparently he has rescinded.
Now, just 2 months before the May primary, Trump is backing out. In a statement, Trump says in part, he went woke and decided to drop everything he stood for. When he did, the people of Alabama dropped him, and now I have done so also. Referring to Brooks speaking at a rally in Coleman when he said it was unconstitutional to remove sitting President Joe Biden and replace him with Trump.
So it is what it is. As an aside, anytime you're in Trump world, you get accustomed to the unexpected. And this was unexpected, but it doesn't change who I am.
Brooks also puts the blame on GOP Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and one of his opponents.
They have been able to manipulate the information that the president sees, and they have been able to change the endorsement, change President Trump's mind. I personally believe that it was a very unwise decision.
Stanford University political science professor Marissa Grayson says Trump flipping could hurt Brooks.
The statement to choose to remove an endorsement is a big one compared to not really taking a stance.
A recent GOP poll by Signal, done on behalf of Alabama Daily News and Gray Television, places Brooks in third place, behind Mike Durant and Katie Britt.
Just goes back to the calculation of he wants to be supporting people he thinks will win.
Do you think this will hurt your campaign?
Well, that's to be seen. I will add that we've had a bump in campaign contributions today.
Trump did say no to Brooks, but he did say yes at first, because he thought Mo Brooks was in line with the January 6th attacks. Mo Brooks tried to distance himself from Trump. Trump didn't like that. Trump decided to strike back, and Trump said, you know what, screw you, I'm going to show you, and here's what happened. President Trump now trying to look for another serious contender to support. They said either he'll align with Katie Britt or Mike Durant, but we had to wait and see. But Mo Brooks, his campaign is in trouble. 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 All right. In trouble. All right. We move on to the reality show Clip Down. There's a trailer of what to expect from this season's Real Housewives of Atlanta. Take a look.
Bravo has been keeping everything airtight. I don't know what's going to go down on our HOA.
Marlo is going to keep the girls alive. She by Sheree finally launched. It's not spring, summer, though.
This season, keep your edges on point and stay tuned.
My edges are filling in.
Who think that they know the TLC about sucking dick in the locker room? This is a kid working party.
Kenya, don't invite your wife and don't get it. Start in a circle.
Yeah! This is Gucci and nobody controls my vagina.
Oh, I made it. Fabulous is my middle name. Marlo Fabulous at Hampton.
Now I'm a nephew still. They miss their mom.
What did she base as she goes to trial? Oh, no. Am I ready for the fight? She by Sheree's coming, honey. You're going to see Tyrone.
A really large penitentiary.
You just happen to run into it.
When the guys come home, they just all over the woman.
He hasn't shown up yet. What does it mean when you call someone, it ring and then it go busy? Just love yourself, Sheree. I am the moment, bitch. I am the moment. I almost loved you, bitch. Like, she gonna say.
Tanya. She's new to Atlanta. She's a 4-time gold Olympic medalist. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a real deal of Jamaica.
She called me a friend. Me not calling her no friend. I'm a 4-time Olympic gold medalist.
You ain't no Jersey crew.
Money ain't on this house.
He didn't have the money to pay that condo off.
Her, your mama, and your family, y'all so disrespectful.
If you ever were to find something in my phone where a guy was like, yo, I could come give you a massage, you would have a problem with that.
She saw something, didn't understand the context.
You just said basically she's lying. That would piss me the off.
My husband was there when you said that you wanted to have sex.
Go have your husband buzzing my pussy all night.
Anthony was never my assistant.
Because you never paid him.
Are you gonna shut the up for a second so I can talk? Candy doesn't know how to be a friend. Candy was a damn hoe. She everybody for free.
I give what you give to me.
Now you following me?
You're full of shit.
You're a pitiful little hoe. You came here, bitch, to raise lap dog, bitch.
I don't have a lap dog, let's be clear. Here, there. There you go. There you go, bitch.
All right, you saw right there, the Real Housewives of Atlanta is returning this fall. As you saw, Kenya and what's her name? Sheree getting into it. Sheree getting into it with what's her name from the TLC movie? She getting into it. Sheree getting into it with everybody. She's coming back where she fit in. Probably Nene ain't back in. Portia's not in the season. Cynthia's not in the season. Marlo will become a peach holder. She's gonna be toe to toe with Kenya, and some of them gonna try to attack Candy, and Candy ain't stunning them. I don't blame Candy. Candy said, whatever, it is what it is. Well, look out for the Real Housewives of Atlanta come your way this fall on Bravo. All right, and finally, the viral video of the week. The viral video of the week is this. Well, we know that the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation is viral. Well, look at this viral video on how all that incident occurred. Take a look.
Working on the Grammy, meanwhile, pussy popping with your man in Miami.
It's just more and more to the story. I mean, when you look at it, Chris Rock, Will Smith, even now, we can put Newsies into this too. On Newsies too. Chris Rock, his sales for going on stage for his stand-up comedy went up, skyrocketed. I wouldn't be surprised if Will Smith's book goes up, any of his movies goes up because of this whole ordeal. So, I mean, they took a situation dealing with a woman about her hair, and it blowed up, and it blowed up to Rockefeller, and you never would have thought Will Smith would be out of character like he did this week. And you know Chris Rock just being Chris Rock, but he never thought Will Smith would be out of character like he did. And then there have been reports that Will Smith gonna get therapy for his trauma. I mean, Will Smith was playing around like Hollywood. Will Smith knows what he's doing. He been knowing what he's doing, but we'll keep tab on that coming up. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of The Tape on this Thursday night. We hope to see you in 2 weeks when we return not next week, but in 2 weeks time, we need to take a break. We've been constantly making videos. So we thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on tape. See you later.